Cheating is messy. But what happens when your wife doesn't just confront you? She turns it into a chessboard. Let's find out. Now I
know. Welcome back to another episode of the Husband and Life podcast, where we talk about chaos, relationships in the modern world. This week is juicy. We had a little spicy. Get a little spicy.
Well, today's a bit techie, you know. It's one of them tactical situations when people are like, I see something happening here. How can we quickly turn this into a little revenge situation?
No, but really and truthfully, it's calculated. It's a calculated moment where it's all about cheating, affairs. It's all about minds. Messing with your mind. So let's not even waste no time, because this time, guys, we've got something special for you. Okay? This time, we actually have a voicemail.
A voicemail?
Yes, I don't need to read the dilemmas no more, guys. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
So, someone sent you a voice note, yeah?
Someone sent me a voice note.
Oh.
Dilemma. Do you love travel and do you love money? Now, we have been able to combine the two things that we love the most, which is travel and money. And here we are, living the lifestyle that we've always dreamed about. We are no longer worrying about our annual leave because we are not 9-to-5ers and we're not living paycheck to paycheck. You can monetize travel to help you live the lifestyle that you want, travel the world, and help other people understand how they can travel the world too. We help our clients to book the most amazing holidays, just like this one that we're on at the moment. And we want to help other people also live this lifestyle. So if you're interested, please do send us a message and we will give you all the information that you want. Making travel pay, that's what we do. Yeah. Someone sent me a voice note.
Oh.
Dilemma.
Okay.
Voice note style.
Oh.
We actually had to, conceal their voice.
Yes.
Anonymity, make sure that nobody
the privacy.
Them,
we did that.
So.
Nobody got
Are you ready? Get your tea, get your coffee, get your blanket.
Okay.
Here we go now.
So play it.
Let's play it.
I really need your thoughts on this, because I don't know if I'm calculated or just broken. I found out my husband has been having an affair with his secretary for the past 6 months. I didn't confront him.
Pause. Okay, we have to pause it. We have to go back. Let's start again. Okay, let's start again. Madness.
Do you understand? I really need your thoughts on this, because I don't know if I'm calculated or just broken. I found out my husband has been having an affair with his secretary for the past 6 months. I didn't confront him.
What?
I didn't scream. I didn't pack a bag.
Oh.
Instead, I contacted her husband. Turns out he had no idea either. I told him everything, and then I offered him a job at the company me and my husband run together.
No.
He said yes.
Yes?
Now, her husband is working beside my husband. She's squirming. He's confused.
It must be.
And I sit there every day acting like everything is normal. But it's not.
Why?
It's war.
It's
am I
war.
wrong? Am I unhealed? Or am I just finally in control?
She said it's war.
Yeah.
She said it's war, people. We are fighting in this. We are fighting in the battlefield, in the trenches. Okay? It's not even a love triangle. We can't even call it that. It's actually badness.
She's gangster. This is like Pablo Escobar stuff here. How's your family? Yes. How's your kids?
How's your kids?
How's your mom?
How's your wife?
Brother.
Start naming names. Start telling him about his family. No, but seriously. She said it's war.
She got him in the business. Yeah. HR paperwork thing go past that there. She was like, we're going to run it like this. This is the play. We're going to keep it quiet.
I don't even understand how you would be able to look at each other every day, knowing what you know, because she said the husband didn't know that they were having an affair either. So they're both in on some kind of crazy plan. I don't even know where they're going to go with this, but some crazy plan, and everybody just sitting around in the office looking at each other.
so it's almost like it's a little triangle thing, but it's a square blood.
It's a square. And the other two people don't know they're in the square. They don't know. They actually don't know.
It's a square, but the other two weren't in the fair, fam.
Hey, all right, babe. Come in with the lyrics then. Okay. I'm actually scared of her though. She's scary because the way you would sit down and contemplate and plan this, and say, you know what, I'm not even going to pack a bag, why should I leave? Why should I leave? No. No.
She's calculated,
I'm
bro.
going to sit here
And really
and plan this properly.
Let's see what's gonna
Let's
happen.
see what unfolds.
That's dangerous, bro. That's
Dangerous woman.
That's that Denzel. That's that my man. Okay.
Listen, okay, I see you.
Cool. And then you just book back away. $20. That's what you wanted. And then you come and see him 3 days later. Boom.
No, but the craziest part is the fact that she has completely bypassed all emotions. She's not even screaming. She's not even shouting. Most women will be like, how dare you? What is this on your phone? And all this, how could you cheat on me? Da, 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 da. None of that is so calm.
Very.
It's so just quiet. She's just getting over with normal life. They'll still be hugging and kissing and sleeping in the same bed and everything. Ay, Jesus is Lord.
It's actually insane just how clever it is, because there's another thing, we've got to look at accountability. Because let's not skip past that there's actual betrayal here. The husband was stepping out with the secretary.
Oh, it's always the secretary. Why?
Because she's there and she says yes to my every request, not knowing that I'm paying her. That's why she says yes.
She's getting paid. I don't get that. I don't understand that. I know proximity and all that, but come on.
And they'd be the deadest.
Let's just.
Some of them be the deadest things, bro.
They'd be the deadest thing you've ever seen.
But
and you're like, why? But why?
She was yes.
She was there.
She said yes. She respects me. She doesn't scream at me. She listens to my command. This is where you got to demand accountability. Say, brother, what were you doing? What is this? Own up. Own up.
No, and the last thing I want to discuss though is how the fact that she's so powerful with it. Okay? She literally has her posture, her poise, everything is just like, you know what? Yeah, you gonna do me like this?
Watch me work.
Watch me mess you up. Your whole life gonna get blown up. I don't know where she's gonna go with this though. How do we end this is the question. I don't think she's wrong. I don't, because she asked, "Am I wrong?" I don't think she's wrong. I don't think this is probably a few steps closer to you starting to have the feelings. You're obviously in tune with your emotional intelligence. You're obviously a very calm and collected person, because most people, like I said, would have lost their minds. But you've decided to take, the other path and collect your thoughts before you make your next move. It's a chess move, and we're about to do some checkmate in this. Okay?
It's true, because I don't think she's wrong at all. I think it's actually a genius move. I think it's need to be studied.
Yes.
because the fact that she just didn't jump out the window and then didn't just destroy all his clothes.
That waiting to exhale.
Burn everything.
Burned everything, walked away.
She was like, okay, listen, how would the Godfather handle this situation? How would the Don would handle this?
How would the Escobar handle this situation, this betrayal?
So let me show you something. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to put them in a position for them to expose their betrayal. To put them in a situation where they're so not expecting this to happen. In a business we run together, our company. They're going to do this underneath my nose.
Hey, the secretary that's in the office with me. This is a mad thing, bruv.
Now I see why she be giving me attitude when I ask her to do stuff.
She be giving me faces and rolling of eyes. Can you imagine? The check of it. I brought you into my business.
Then this is what you do.
Yo, okay.
This is what they do, man.
This is what they be doing. But this is the thing. We need to give her some resolution, because obviously she's asked us for our advice. To be honest with you, I think you're doing a great job. I really do. But if we're going to delve into it, let's talk about how you're going to start healing from this.
Yes, because the pain.
Really what you're going to need to focus on. There's going to be things that you need to kind of look at. Think about the last 6 months. What's been happening in the last 6 months? You're going to need to start thinking about, what did he say to you? What did he do coming up to those 6 months? What was happening in your marriage at the time for him to think that it was okay to step out? What conversations did you have? What was going on in your lifestyle that maybe gave him those
courage.
Thoughts and those, that gave him that oomph and that audacity to say, yeah,
brazenness.
let me just start doing a thing with the secretary
Step
right
out.
next to you that you see every day. Like, it's just mad to me. So yeah, you need to start thinking about your internal healing, because the pain will come out in some other way if you're not expressing it, outwardly.
And you also need to know what lines you aren't willing to cross, because you need to have boundaries in place, because this can change you as a person. Because you'll be so blinded by revenge, you're ready to just murder. Because now it's festering. A volcano erupts. Why does it erupt? There's too much inside.
It needs to come in.
It needs to come out. So you need to see how to establish or how to create boundaries and then that will prevent you from going beyond that line to cause damage which you won't be able to repair, even though you are not the reason for this wahala.
See trouble now.
You
see trouble.
I always go to people, if somebody does this to you and you break their hand, it's justified. You take the whole arm off, it's justified.
How dare you touch me? What are you touching me for? Hey!
But they always go, why are you doing like that?
Why did you hurt his hand? Listen,
I was minding my business. I
own
was thinking I
business.
was in a happy marriage, living life, everything was Gucci, business was doing great.
Was booming.
And then you trying to get his heifer all up in my business.
This is what I'm saying. So you need to think about boundaries. Where are we going to go with this? Because we don't want...
What happens after?
We don't want to take it too far with the revenge, okay? Don't lose yourself in it, okay? But you already seem like you're calculated and cool, so it's cool. And then the last thing we want to think about is, what is the end game? Are we going to do divorce? Are we going to discuss it with him first? Are we going to sit down and discuss it with him?
What do you want from this?
What do you want from this? What is the end game? Is it a case of you're going to, buy him out of the business and let him go his grand way with his secretary and you take over all of the business? Because, business is involved in this, so you have to think about your...
Karuski.
Yes. Think about your shmoney as well as your marriage. If you have children, you have to think about that too. We don't know, but if that's the case, maybe. If not, hey, easier to deal with. It's not going to be too messy. So you need to really sit down and think about, what is the end game?
It is, because I think you need to really strip it back, like you said. You need to really reflect on what matters and what you really want from this relationship. Well, you need to be clear. You need to say about pros and cons. What are the good? What can happen? Worst case scenario, it's already happened. So now, what can you save from this? If there's anything to save from this, do you want to save this or do you want to move forward? What do you want? You need to be
so clear with it.
We can't say, yo, you need to cut this.
No.
You need to understand, why did he do it in the first place?
What was going on? Like I said, you have to do your reflection for your own healing first.
Why didn't you confront it in the first place? These questions you have to ask yourselves. Did you allow this to happen? Why did you let this happen?
She didn't really let it happen.
Once it was happening, she let it continue.
She's let it continue. But I think it's to find out exactly what's going on. You don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to jump off the cliff when you don't have the full facts. And you can't ask him because he ain't going to tell you the truth. Okay? He's going to give you some crazy story. She's just the secretary. She's just doing work for me. Nothing's going on. So you add a little fire into the room. Yeah? Okay.
What do you mean, add a little fire?
You add a little spice, a little fire, so you can see how he deals with it.
Oh, so you put him in the kitchen.
That's why she put the husband there.
To see if we can handle the heat.
Add a little flavour to the thing, right? So now everybody's like, why is the husband here? What's he doing here? And he can do some spying. He can listen to certain conversations that you can't be in the room for.
The questions.
A little investigation is happening here, but you need to know the end result. I understand you because I like psychology. I'm very much into my human behavior, but you need to know the end result, and it's all about understanding what are you going to do when you do approach him and ask him what's going on. What is happening?
Because
it's very unlikely he's going to tell you the truth. So you need
deny.
So you need to, understand how you're going to deal with that, with him lying to your face. Or he may just crumble. He may crumble and say, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Or I'm in love with her. We want to get married. You don't know. You don't know what's going to be said. But you do have to have the conversation. There's only so much mind games and, secrecy that can continue in this scenario. You have to understand that it's now time to forget about revenge and understand it's time for working on healing, working on forgiveness, working on moving forward. What do you do now?
Because we need to also establish your pain is very, very valid. Okay? I think your plot is kind of genius, if you ask me. But your peace, peace is everything, you know? And that's the real flex.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
you can't put a price on peace, on your happiness, just tranquil, because this is obviously just destroyed all of that, And I think, like Kel was trying to say, you got to establish whether it's a revenge or it's how you move forward and how you grow and what you're willing to accept moving forward, Because in this episode, like, it shook me like kind of crazy. Like, we was like, what's going with this? She allowed the thing to happen for 6 months, brother, recruiting her husband and put him in the organization to infiltrate from inside.
Inside spying. The CIA, MI5 situations going on. It's like a movie.
There might be somebody going through this. You don't even know because some of these things you hear, man. Every day, some of these stories I hear, I'm like,
The stories that we hear are sensational. That's all I can say. But this episode is definitely for somebody who maybe thinks that something shady is happening in their household and they're just not sure what is going on. It's definitely an episode for people to understand how they can work on their emotional intelligence. It's an episode for people to understand how you can overcome what you really want to do and what you should do, okay? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, okay? And we'll see you next week. Peace.